The first time I went fishing was when my father brought me and my family to this fishery. And essentially, when I was with my family there, we'd always go and catch fish to bring back to our grandparents. I always would think of it as doing the fishing for someone specifically. When I was younger at the fishery, I would often think of fishing to be something for my grandparents because they basically raised me when I was young, all the way up until now. All the other forms of fishing were all taught by my aunt, who is a professional diver, who also taught me how to dive. The fish I'm most proud of catching would definitely be that barracuda because, damn, that was just scary. After catching that fish, I felt so relieved and happy, and I felt like I was unstoppable after that. I feel very close to nature whenever I'm in water because then I know that I am ready to hunt. I became Fish Grylls when I was going on a Leadership 11 trip with my peers at Collingwood School. Essentially, I wasn't too sure if I could bring this fishing spear with me because it is pretty hazardous, but I was allowed to bring it, and each and every day of that trip I would go hunting for fish for the group that I was with to see if I could catch anything and potentially serve the fish. The hunt is very intense. It varies with fish. Some try to get away and some would even try to come for you. Like that time when I tried to hunt a barracuda with my aunt. When it's in the water and you're fishing, it's more interactive because you are the predator and the fish are your prey. When you have a target you're trying to catch underwater, any small movements are able to startle them. So you always must remain in eye contact with your target, letting them know that you are the predator and they are the prey. I love spear fishing more than the traditional fishing. I also like noodling, but that's more for catfish. I was taught this by my aunt. So essentially you'd go up to one of those catfish holes in the side of a riverbank, and you would wear some really thick gloves because hint hint, it's gonna hurt pretty badly when a big catfish swims up and bites onto your hand, because then you'd proceed to stick your hand into that hole and wait for the catfish to assume your arm is some food and just latch on. Ever since I was little, I always loved watching survival shows because it made me feel very inspired, and also it was just very generally interesting to watch someone be able to use nature's resources to survive out in the wilderness completely out of civilization. And I personally plan to actually try out maybe going on one of those couple of survival shows to see if I got what it takes to survive. Bear Grylls, aside from that, he generally inspired me because he was pretty much the very first and only show I watched when I was really young. And just watching him out in the wild doing all those sorts of crazy things and teaching life lessons was just amazing. I want to do that. I do really love being out in the wild though, because it's so comforting and calming from the usually busy and just fast-paced life. Whenever I don't catch a fish, I just remind myself that today might just be one of the off days where perhaps my luck isn't very, but even though knowing defeat, it always shows that there's another opportunity to strike and once again go for the goal.